Good morning, aviators. Today we are continuing the absolute beginner's guide for the F-15C Eagle. This guide is meant for anyone who is new to DCS or is returning back to the DCS skies after a hiatus. For those DCS veterans out there, your contributions are always appreciated in the comments below. Today we are learning how to take off in the F-15C. Not necessarily going over a scramble, but a good, safe, reliable takeoff, starting from hot parking. So this is parking spot 1. And we're all ready to go. The engines are started. The flaps are down. I think the only thing I have to do here is set the takeoff trim, and we're ready to go. So, since I am not quite at the runway, I do have to request taxi to runway. So we will do that.
Request taxi to runway.
Okay, runway 9, so we're there. We're not going to taxi all the way in. We're just going to go from this intersection near the 1,000-foot markers. Okay, and we will park it here. So flaps are down. We should do a flight control check to make sure they are all working, and they are. Okay, so now before I actually request the takeoff, let's go over what we're going to do. So we're going to taxi onto the runway on center line because it is just us. We're going to hold the brakes. We're going to increase the throttle till that says 90 RPM on the tachometers there. We're going to release the brakes, select full afterburner by full throttle. Going to increase speed. We'll call out when our airspeed is alive, and depending on our speed we will rotate between 140, depending on our weight we will rotate between 140 to 160 knots. Now if you're heavy you'll rotate faster, so we're pretty much max gross weight. We got 3 fuel tanks loaded with missiles, full internal fuel, so we're going to rotate at 160 knots, and we're going to pitch up until we get to 12 degrees nose up. At 12 degrees nose up you want to release the yoke pressure, and it still should stay there. When you see you have a positive rate by increase on the altimeter, or if you want to look down and increase on the VSI, you're going to go gear up by pressing G. Once the gear's up, continue pitching nose up till you get to 20 degrees on the HUD. When your airspeed tape gets to 250 knots, you're going to select flaps up. If you forget, it should do it automatically for the F-15C. Then you're going to pitch for 350 to 300 knots, depending on your weight. And once you get to that speed, you'll go out of afterburners and select high military power. So that's a quick overview. Now let's do it. So request takeoff.
In field 1-1, request takeoff. Field 1-1, Koki, you are cleared for takeoff when ready. Climb 300 at QFE 29.88.
So 2988. We don't have a Coleman window to set that, but we can zero out the altimeter like that. Okay, landing light on. Alt L, Alt L. Nav light's already on. Taxiing onto the runway. We've gotten cleared for takeoff.
Field 1-1, unable to clear for takeoff.
I don't know why it does that, but so we're going to get on the center line.
1-1, Koki, you are cleared for takeoff when ready. Climb 300 at QFE 29.88.
All right, here we go. So increasing throttle. There's 90, release the brakes, full afterburners. Airspeed is alive, there's 50 knots. Use your rudder pedal to stay on the center line. Looking for about 160 knots. There's 150, there's 160, start pulling back. 12 degrees nose up, release the pressure. Altitude's increasing, gear up. Gonna pitch for 20 degrees nose up. There's 250. Flaps are up. Now I'm gonna have to trim forward to keep it at 200 or 20 degrees nose up. There's 300 knots. Increasing airspeed. There's 350 out of afterburner. I'm gonna keep that 350 by bringing my nose down. And there we have a good, stable takeoff. Okay, that was fully loaded. Now let's try a takeoff with no external fuel tanks. Just to know it's different. So we're going to plan a rotation speed of 140 knots, and things will happen a lot quicker. But here we go. Increase throttle. Holding brakes. There's 90, release brakes, full afterburner. And stay on center line with the rudder pedals. Airspeed's alive, we're already past 100. There's 140. Pitch back. There's 12 degrees nose up. Positive rate. Gear up. Pitching to 20 degrees up. There's 250. Flaps up. And maintain 20 degrees, 20 degrees nose up. And we are really increasing speed. There's 250 out of afterburner. And this time I actually have to pitch up to maintain 350 because we are so light. If you want to practice this yourself, I will leave a link to this mission in the comments below. And that's it, guys. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate it if you leave a like. If you want to see future videos, please subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments below and I'll try to address them. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the skies.